Okay, guys, welcome day number 3 for beginners yoga. So it's actually raining here, which is, well, for Townsville standards in winter, which is the second last day of winter, pretty rare. So I'm in the garage. We're going to do, obviously, step it up a little bit from what we've already done, days 1 and 2, which hopefully try and keep it a little bit basic, but obviously try and stretch yourself a little bit. So yeah, join in, let's get straight to it. Day number 3. Let's start, as we have with the other 2 days, just a bit of a warm-up. So we're just going to start with, just with a chair pose. So just down in the heels, weight in the heels, wiggle the toes, and we're just going to go chair to forward fold, to a flat back, so we're going to straighten out that spine, and then we're just going to go back and forth, chair pose. So pretty kind of good introduction to some power yoga, flat back, that you can do, any time of day. You can do them in the morning. As I said before, you can do them when you get home from work, before you go to bed. All you need is a mat. Do them inside, do them in the garage, do them out the front, people walk past. And when we come back on that chair, we're just going to be able to, as I said, wiggle the toes, and twist it back, and just go back and forth. Now this time when we go forward, we're just going to walk the legs out, so we can straighten each leg one at a time, and exhale on each straighten. So we exhale, breathe in, exhale. So a lot of it is just about, I think yoga is really, it's just about, for me, it's about movement and keeping everything active. I'm pretty active anyway, but I want to be able to use, the thing with yoga is we can use the whole body, so we can use muscles that we think we're using, but we're not. So a lot of these poses we're using full body. Anyway, back to the yoga. So just get that back and forth. We'll do the warm up, and we'll get stuck into it. So flat back, we can have back nice and straight. You can have hands on the shins or hands down. We can work those hamstrings. Back and forth. A couple more breaths. You can see me walking each hamstring. And then we're going to come on down. So just kind of loosen, relax the body, let the chin drop. We're going to come down to a plank. Forearm plank, and we're going to come back to a child's pose, so back to what we were. Back, toes together, and we're just sort of going to go back and forth. Child's pose to an up dog. Now on the up dog, we want to squeeze the glutes. We can sort of twist it side to side, but again, we're getting really good movement in the lower back, and then release everyone's favourite pose, child's pose, but you can go back and forth. So we can add on to these. Now, so this is the third day, obviously, but we can add on to them. We can step it up a notch and go even further. But you can just replay these 3 days and just get used to a bit of yoga. Just sort of back and forth, recycling those 3 days. There's plenty of things you can do online with yoga, and it's just kind of finding someone you're sort of comfortable listening to, not cracking on too much. Hopefully that's not me. Back and forth. And then what we're going to do, the last bit of our warm-up is what we call a bird dog. So, on all fours, hands and knees, and we're going to go right arm, left leg out. So we're going to try and strengthen out on the exhale. We're going to extend, come back down. So a really good core pose, really good balance pose, and we're just back and forth. Okay, we're going to go to 10. So there's 3. So you kind of feel that in that middle to lower back. Feel it in the hamstrings, and we can feel it in that core as well. 5, I think that was 5. 6. Just take your time when you come back, just get the balance. So balance. Then a couple, if you're new to this, you're going to be shaking a little bit. 8. But again, as I said before, with that, if you're shaking, it just shows that that core is building, it's working. And 10. And then back to child's pose. Just sink it back, relax back, relax the heels down. Relax the hips down. On the exhale, sink down. And then we're going to tuck the toes. We're going to come up into that down dog.
So sink the heels down, relax the shoulders, head towards the knees, and we're just going to walk it out. So we can twist, and again, just movement, blood flow in the lower back, and we're just back and forth. So again, release. It's just a really good 15-20 minutes. You know, doing this once a day. It's just such a good habit to get into. Even if you're not active, you know, this is a way to stay active. This could be your workout. Now stretch those calves out. And then we're going to go three-legged dog. So we're going to go left leg up, up, and we're going to hinge it forward, and we're going to come into that low lunge again. So we've been here before in the previous ones, and we're going to come back into that low lunge. We're going to stretch out that hip flexor, breathe in, sink down, and forward. And we're going to add to that a twist. So we're going to go right arm down, left arm, we're going to roll the shoulder back. So we're going to point up, eyes to the ceiling. You're going to feel it in that glute. You can take the arm to the lower back, or stretch up, and twist. And then before we go back, we're going to go both arms on the inside of the leg, and we're going to come into that lizard pose. We're going to stretch the back leg. It's going to sort of hinge it back and forth. So you get a really good stretch in the left groin, but also on that right hip flexor. And you can come down, we can put the knee down, and then both arms down. And you can kind of rock it back and forth, side to side, and just sort of work out, recover any of those areas. Again, areas that we don't really think we use, you may not be using. But these yoga stretches, they find those areas, they get the movement, and help not only work them, but restore them as well. So come back up, back to a plank, hinge forward, we're going to go through the vinyasa flow, so down, slowly come down, all the way down, and we're just going to come into a cobra pose. So hands about chest height, and lift up. So cobra. You can go side to side a little and then back down. And because we're power yoga, we're going to keep flowing. So we're back up, plank, down dog, relax, right leg up, swing it forward into that low lunge. Relax, and then just come into that low lunge. So breathe out, breathe in, and then breathe out, and we're going to stretch. And again, just find wherever you're comfortable. You know, we don't want to overstretch it. We just want to find that comfortable release. And you can kind of twist it side to side. And we're going to come into that twist. So left arm down, right arm up. So reach, roll it back. You can roll it back behind, or we can reach up. Breathe in. And roll and exhale. It's a really good release. Glutes. And then we're going to come into that lizard pose. So both hands on the inside of the leg, straighten the back leg, just kind of hinge. Side to side, forward and back. We can come on down, the leg down, bring the forearms down. And on that one we can kind of release that leg to the side so we get that release in that glute. Stretch. And then we're going to come back up, come back into our plank, and we'll go through the vinyasa flow again. So hinge forward, lower down, hands about chest height, and we're going to come into that cobra pose. Up. And release down. Now we're going to come into a down dog. So to get to down dog, tuck the toes, plank, down dog. Now what we're going to do here is a dolphin pose. So a dolphin pose is similar, but we're going to do it on our forearms. So it's a little bit of an extension. So we're going to sink the heels down as far as we can. Now they're going to be more difficult to get down to the down dog, but we're going to get a release in those shoulders. Now here we're going to still push towards the ground with our heels. We can do one leg at a time. and walk them and really stretch the heavies and the calves. But at the same time, we're still getting that release in those shoulders, releasing the upper back. And again, a lot of these poses we can add to them. So I'll keep an eye for some more series. I'll definitely add to these, but for the 3 day, we don't want to go too hard in the first 3 days. Now breath, relax out, and then we're going to come back to a plank. Hinge forward, lower down, and then this time we're going to come up dog. So hands a little bit further back, and we're going to come all the way into an up dog. Lift the knees off the ground, squeeze the glutes. Feel that release in the lower back. Okay, and then we're going to tuck the toes, down dog, and we're going to keep flowing. So this time, left leg up, we're going to go full lunge. So forward, now we're going to come to that full lunge. So we're going to slowly come up, and then full crescent lunge. So breathe in, sink down, and then what we're going to do now, prayer pose, so hands together, right elbow, left knee. We're going to come across, and we're going to do what we call a twist. So we're going to breathe in. When we exhale, we're going to swing our body and twist it to the left. So breathe in, and then we're trying to get our hands to about heart center. We're going to work our way there. Don't push it first breath. Release. And on each breath, we just take it a little bit further. One more breath. Very good. And then we're going to come back to plank. Now before we go down, this time we're going to come into a T-stand. So we're going to go roll over on our left arm. Now we can have leg out, and we're just going to do what we call a T-stand. So T-stand, side plank. We can stack the legs. Have the leg out in front. We're going to get more balance, that leg out in front. 2 more breaths. Pull that left side in. Back to plank. Hinge forward, lower down. Up dog. Tuck the toes, down dog. Now, what side do we just do? We're going to go left leg up. No, we're not. We're going to go right leg up. Forward, and then full lunge. So if we have a crescent lunge, so full lunge, good balance pose. Breathe in, relax. Prayer position, left elbow, right knee, straighten that back leg, push that heel down, and then on each exhale we're going to go and twist. So we're trying to get that hand to around heart or chest center. One more breath. And then we're going to go back to a plank. We're going to get a T-stand on the other side. So half naked, so this time with the right hand, we're going to go roll over. Stack the legs if you want to. Look up, make it a bit harder. Work the balance. And then we're back to plank. Forward and down. Relax. Up dog. So a lot of it comes back to that vinyasa flow, that down dog, up dog. We're going to go back to down dog. And this time, we're going to repeat that sequence that we did on day 2, which is our triangle. So the left leg up, forward. Triangle pose is pivot the right leg, both legs straight. Okay, so triangle pose, arms out. And we're going to slowly sink down, roll the right arm back and up. So we'll reach up and lower that left arm down the leg. Now again, it might be here, it might be the top of the leg. We're going to try it. Again, yoga is going to make you adapt as you do it more. You're going to lower down. And again, with each exhale, we roll it back. Each exhale, we just move a little bit more. That's why that breath is so important. You learn to use that breath. And then we're going to add to it, we're going to extend. So we're going to hold the left arm, and we're going to extend that right arm over that right ear. and extend it out. 2 more breaths. And then we're going to come back down, bend that left leg, back to a plank, forward, down. When we come down this time, we're going to do what we call a locust pose. So we're going to go arms back and legs up and lift them all off the floor. So really good for that middle back. Breathe in and just relax a little on the exhale. 1 more breath. Okay, back to plank. Forward and then right leg up. We'll repeat that sequence on the other side. So full lunge. And then pivot the back leg. And we're going to come into a triangle pose on that side. So we're going to slowly roll the left arm back and sink the right arm down, down, rolling that back, and then breathe in, exhale. 1 more breath, and then extend. So this one, they might feel a little bit uncomfortable, especially first time you do these. They shake, you kind of feel like you're struggling, but your body 100% will adapt if you keep at it. Extend, and then come on down to a plank. Forward, lower down, up dog. Okay, down dog. We've got a couple more flows, and we'll call it. So we're going to go left leg up, 3-legged dog, extend, extend, push that right heel down, forward, full lunge, and then this time we're going to come forward, just facing forward. We're going to do what we call a half moon. So a half moon pose is, first we're going to go into our left, bend that left leg, and we're going to come up and over, and we're going to try and balance on that left leg, bring that right leg up to 90 degrees, and just put that left arm down just for a little bit of balance. Right arm is up, come back down, we're going to go on over to the other side, so we're going to go weight in the right leg. So we're really training you to work a bit of balance, using your breath, and of course, using that core. I'm just going to go back and forth a couple more times. So, over, half moon. So, awesome balance pose. Back and forth. Half moon. Now, if you want to push yourself a little bit more and we can build up to it, we can take the hand off. Well, we can take the hand off the ground onto the ankle. And we can shake. 1 more time each side, so over. Just find where you're comfortable. Try and straighten that leg. And as I said, if you want to work a bit more balance, take the hand off and watch me fall over. 1 more time. Second last day of winter here, and I'm sweating. That's not a good sign for summer, is it? Over. We're going to come forward, plank, vinyasa flow down, up dog, squeeze the glutes, and then we're going to go down dog, push those heels down, left leg up, forward, then we're going to come warrior pose, so we're going to turn the back leg out, keep this leg bent, and we're going to come into a lunge. So warrior 1 is the same as our lunge, but except we've got our back foot facing out. Warrior 1. We're going to go warrior 2. So we're going to sink down, and we can feel that in our quads, groins. And then we're going to go 1 more balance pose, warrior 3. So all the weight in the front foot. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to straighten out the arms and the leg. One more breath. Come back down. Warrior two. I'm going to come back to plank. Forward, down, and we'll do the other side. So right leg up. So we've definitely gone up a notch, I know. Warrior pose, left leg out. Come up into that lunge, that warrior one. But as I said, the beauty of yoga is the more you do it, warrior two, the more your body just adapts to it. So hopefully this is a good introduction for you. And then warrior three, all the weight in the right foot. Forward leg, straighten that body. Awesome. Come back. Warrior one, two, and plank. One more vinyasa flow. We're going to come up, and this time we're going to come up. We're going to walk it back. We're going to finish with our beloved tree pose. So come up, slowly come up. One last balance pose. Shake it out. I'm sweating here, like I said. Imagine what it's like in here in summer. Okay, tree pose. Turn your left leg out. I'm going to mirror you. We're going to go right leg over the left. Sorry, for me it's right leg over the left, for you it's left. I'm going to go prayer position. I'm going to go 5 breaths. So we're just going to balance pose. So leave a little bit of, don't straighten that leg out. We're just going to leave a little bit of bend in the knee. As part of that 5 breaths, we can stay there, or we can sink down into a crouching tree, or a one-legged chair. Try and get the elbows to the legs. Try and get that back straighter, or straight as you can, and feel that in the glute. One more breath. Come back up. Release. Shake it out. Get rid of the sweat. And we shall finish on the other side. So, left leg, steady, prayer position. Whatever you're comfortable, you might be here. Here's a bit of movement, makes it a little bit harder, but again, the trick is just keep your eye on one spot and get the breath. Such a good pose. I mean, you're obviously using so many different parts of your body. You know, from your bones in the foot, a bit of balance in the ankle, calves, and then we're going to even more, we're going to lower down, down, don't fall, almost finished, don't fall, Craig, come on mate, come on mate, and then down, falling. We're going to do 2 more breaths, don't watch me, and we will wrap it up. Come back up, shake it out, and that's it guys, we'll finish day number 3. Like I said, repeat it, do it over and over again. Hopefully build your core up, build your balance up, and get better at it. And then keep an eye, I'm going to keep trying to add some more and sort of take them up a notch. But yeah, thank you very much, and we'll see you back here.